Hi there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kathy. I am a 72-year-old Seint cream makeup gal. And I had to stop and think about that because I thought, my goodness, I really am 72. So a little bit of history. I normally don't come on YouTube and do a presentation here, but I decided I want to give it a shot and I want to see whether I can get some of you who might be in the mature age to understand what all the fuss is about. And also, I feel it's important that you see what 72-year-old skin looks like before and what it's going to look like after. So for that reason, we are going to go through, I'm going to show you how to take the famous 4-pan makeup. So these are 4 colors that we strategically place on your face. And once we get them all blended, it is a beautiful foundation that doesn't scream, I've got makeup on. It just screams, I've got really good skin. So that's kind of what we're out there, and that's what I'm trying to teach you. I found Seint about a year and a half ago. And I, like many people, watched video after video after video, thinking, this can't be. This is far too good to be true. And they've got to be using filters, because I know what a filter looks like, and you can look really good with a filter. So I kept trying to do it on my own. I layered my products that I had. I didn't have cream products. I was just trying to do it with my regular makeup that I used, and I could never achieve the look. I was totally intrigued by the one palette. I thought, this is a great concept. And how wonderful would it be to open up one container and have everything that you need for your face, as opposed to 5, 6, 7, or 8, which I was doing. My makeup bag was kind of overflowing because I would pick here, I would pick there. When I'd go into my eyeshadows, I would use multiple palettes because each of them had my favorite colors. Now I can create my own eyeshadow palette based on what I like, and I don't have to search and open and try to find a different palette because everything is in one. We do have different size palettes. This is the beginner palette, and this is the one I'm going to show you today. This one shows how to do 4 colors on your face to create a look. But we do have larger palettes. This happens to be my favorite. This one is called the 12. And what this one means is that you can put 6 full-size tins in the top layer and 6 full-size tins in the bottom, or 12 eyeshadows, because an eyeshadow is the half of a size of a regular full-size tin. So I was intrigued. I love the fact that I would open one thing. And also at 72, I've noticed that my fingers don't work as well as they used to. So trying to open containers is a challenge, and it's actually getting worse. And I know that's no surprise to any of you that are out there that might be in my age category, but it's still frustrating because you want to try to speed through things, you think you ought to be able to, and all of a sudden you can't. So what I'm going to use today is I am going to use one brush. This is my favorite brush. We have multiples. This happens to be my favorite brush because you can get a medium to a full coverage with this. I find that most mature women, we have things that we want to try to disguise. We're not going to cover them up. We're not going to take them away, but we want to disguise them, and we want to bring out other parts of our face that do look good, that we want to call attention to. And so medium to full coverage is normally our way to go. You can go with a fluffier brush, which will give you a much lighter coverage, and I do cover that on my Facebook page and on my Instagram. And I'll come back to YouTube as well and try to do that for you. But I think it's important to understand that the brush is the magic. I tried it about a month without ordering the brush because I had really good brushes. And I thought, surely their brushes can't be any better than what I've already invested in. Well, these are specifically made for cream products. And that's the reason they work differently than anything that you've probably currently got in your makeup bag. So I would encourage you for sure to get this is called the 3D brush. And you'll notice that all brushes that we have are dual-ended. So you're really getting 2 brushes for the price of 1, so it's a great deal. And you're just going to find that your application is seamless. So what I'm going to show you is what I call the Fab Four. I come on every Monday night on my Facebook page and I do this application because I want you to know how you can create this amazing transformation in your face with just 4 colors. And so I'm going to start. This is one of our new palettes. This is so pretty. But I'll tell you, one of the things that I love about the new style of compacts is that it's got this little lip on it and it allows me to open it easier. That's pretty sweet. So I like that. So we are going to start with what we would call a contour. Excuse me. We want to try to add a shadow right here in this full part of our face, narrowing it down a little bit, also causing that cheekbone to pop a little bit. So when you use cream products and you're using this particular brush, you tap in there. You don't swipe, but you tap in there to get that color. And by doing this, you are applying such a small amount of product, but oh my, does it work. Now, I line my products up in the order that I put them on my face. So contour, many people like to start with contour because it is a thicker consistency and we want to put it on the face first because we want it to warm up to our skin. So I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead to drop my forehead down. And we're going to create just a little bit of a shadow there. And notice that I am not blending at this point. I'm simply applying product. Now, for those of us that are in my age category, you want to sharpen that jawline. And I start from the jowls, which are right here, and go back towards my ear, right on the cusp of that jaw. Take a little bit of product, I'm going to put it down on my neck to create that shadow. Can you see instantly how that created that shadow? Now, if you want a more chiseled look to this, pinch your brush like that, and you will get a sharper, more direct line there. Now, I'm going to want that pinched to do my nose. I have never done my nose before. When I started with Seint, this was the first time that I did it. So you can do that either with a brush or you can put it on with your finger, which many of my guests do. They still like to apply it with their finger and then they're going to blend later. So now I have my contour on. Think of contour as going on the hard areas of your face, on your forehead, on your nose, right underneath that cheekbone, on your jaw, and down your neck. Okay? Now we're ready to go on to the lightest color in the palette, and this is called your Brightening Highlight. So I want you to think of this color as if it were your concealer. And when you think of concealer, you might get a little queasy. Because for those of us that are mature, most of our aging starts in our neck and around our eyes. That's where we see it first. And so by putting product there, you think, oh great, it's going to show up. Well, I'm going to show you how and why it doesn't show up because of the way that I have applied that product. So you're going to notice I dabbed it here, what was left on my brush. These are called the marionette lines. So I've dabbed it in there, just trying to pull them forward a little bit. I put a little color here in the corner and a little color on the outside of each eye. I did a little bit on my forehead, down my nose, and we're going to finish by putting a little bit on my chin. So when you look at my face before I've blended, all of a sudden you can see that there's brightness already that is forming in the center of my face. All right? Now, let's go on to the next color, which is you would consider your foundation. So again, I'm going to tap in there and I'm going to apply that product. Now, I have rosacea. Do you see this pink? And it's actually gotten worse as I'm getting older. And I want to try to camouflage that. I'm not going to take it away, but I like to camouflage that. So as an artist, what we do is we color match you. So you send your artist a makeup-free selfie, and you are looking out into a window. So like right now, I'm sitting in front of a window and I'm looking out. So you're getting natural light. This is the truest light that you can get when you're applying makeup. That's the reason your makeup, you can always tell if you've made a mistake when you look at the in the rear view mirror of your car, because you're getting regular light. And so after I see that makeup-free selfie, I can zoom in, I can look to see if you have discolorations there, or if you really carry a large amount of darkness, maybe even here around your eye. I can see things like that that I need to tweak. So my particular color that I put on for my rosacea is geared to take away redness. So it's a little bit of color correcting at the same time that we are giving you a little bit of color. So that's important too. Now I'm going to apply my blush with my finger, and the reason is because I can be more strategic putting it on, and then I'll blend it with the brush. Now our cheek colors are also the lip colors. And normally I'm not going to apply my lip color with my finger. I do glosses at times, but normally I'm not applying my lip color like that anymore. Because of being an older woman, I have starting to have some of those lines that go around. I've never been a smoker, but I do have the lines that are starting to develop. So I want to make sure that I stay within those. So I normally use a brush. I take a setting spray and I squirt about 5 pumps of setting spray in the palm of my hand. And now I take that same brush that I put the product on with, and now we are going to blend it. Start at the neck, and we're first going to start with that contour. That contour has warmed to your face. If you want to go up to the top and do the contour around your hairline, you can. Obviously, you can see that I have white hair, and so I have to take care when I'm getting around my hairline, but it works very well. Now, I'm not going to do anything to the contour that I've done here. Now I'm going to go back down to the bottom, only because this is kind of like the way I've learned. And I want to show you how you blend. On a mature woman's skin, you do not swipe. Remember, these brushes are created to use with cream makeup. And so for that reason, they're not made to do this. This is the way you're going to blend. And you're going to see that product just mold and almost disappear into my face with a beautiful glow. Okay? You can flip between the ends of your brushes. So when you want to get around those areas where you want to be a little bit more precise, the cone end works beautifully. So you can see I'm going around my eye. And the other thing, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I blend here, I blend here. The only thing that goes underneath my eye is what is on my brush. And I do that for a reason. I don't want a lot of product there. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about your concealer that you're currently using and probably how you're applying it. You've probably made almost a V underneath your eye because that's the way we've been taught. But if you think about it, your concealer is the thickest product in your makeup bag. And you're putting all of that thickness right underneath the eye. And so we don't want that. We want to only brighten the eye. So we concentrate that brightness here and on the outside. And now I like the cone to go around my nose. The other thing that I can tell you is that as I've gotten older, some of my pores have gotten bigger. And I am back on a tretinoin, which hopefully will help some of that. Now I need to blend that blush out. I want you to watch that I'm blending the blush at the same time that I'm blending that contour. So I'm going up and back, up and back. Same thing over here, back. And I'm not really doing anything with that contour. When I placed that contour, that is where I wanted that contour. So other than just diffusing the edges, I don't need to blend it. So there's a big difference in blending that product and just softening the edges. Now, I use a moistened, we call it a perfector sponge. This has a little bit of water on it, and then I wrung it out as much as you can get out. Also took a washcloth and went and wrung it all out, so it's pretty almost dry. So it doesn't have a lot of moisture in it. All I'm doing here is pressing the product into my skin, but I'm also lifting off any excess that's there. Now, if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to use a setting spray, you can use a finely milled powder. We have powders that fit in our palette so that you can use that. I have found that for me, even at my age of 72, as the summer months come, I don't need as much moisturizer. So in the wintertime, I use Seint's moisturizer and I have loved it. But I have discovered, and we're only in April, but I've discovered that that was more moisture than I needed. I want to look dewy. I want the look that you see in the mirror right now, but I don't want to look oily. And so for that reason, if I do have days where I'm feeling a little bit more, I don't know, glistening than what I would like, I would simply tap it down with a fuller brush that has been placed in powder, just knocking down that shine. And the other thing that will do is it will not just take away the shine, but it is also going to take away the texture, because as we get older, we do see more texture. And for whatever reason, it shows up more the more dewy we look. So there you've got it. That's my minimal look. That is 4 products like this on a 72-year-old face that took me not long at all to apply. And what I do is when you request a color match, if you comment the word match below, I will send you the form. You'll simply fill out the form, send me a photo, and I will get back with you the colors that I feel as an artist are going to look the best on you. If the ball is in your court at that point, you can choose to order, you can choose to do whatever you want. I will make suggestions, but it's entirely up to you. Once your order goes in, I send you videos specifically for new people on how to apply your makeup, because you saw I didn't just put everything all over my face. I put it in certain areas. I send you diagrams, I send you a video of me sitting in front of the mirror. Let's do this. And you can do it with me. You can pause the video. Let's put your palette together. And I sit there and put the palette together with you. It's a real one-on-one relationship. And I want to be able to teach you how to do it. It's one of my most favorite things to do, is to teach you how to apply this product so that you can get the most for your money and the most for your looks. Just because you're older doesn't mean you have to look it. And I certainly don't look like I'm 20 years old anymore, but I'm making the most of my appearance and what it can do for me. So I hope we can do the same thing for you. Thanks for stopping. And, this is my first time doing a live like this on YouTube. So we're going to see how it comes out. I'm anxious to see it. I really appreciate it. I will put my link and everything in the comments below. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.